All right, we got a brand new lineup for everyone today. Or tonight. I've got to say, I'm going through a lot of bullshit right now, and I'm glad I'm going through this journey together with whoever's watching. And the reason why is because, dude, you got to learn how to love yourself, right? I've been a single guy for quite some time, been on dates, try to get into relationships, but overall, I'm very comfortable with myself. I love myself, and sometimes I shock myself with my resilience and how I deal with situations. And that's the one part that I love about myself. And I got to give all graces to God because our creator, call him what you want, a creator, alien, Jehovah, Jah, Allah, whatever. Yo, bro, like he has hardened me. He, she, call it whatever you want, as I said. That higher power has hardened me to become so resilient, and I love my resilience. I am like impressed with myself. I've got to say, I've got to say, there's a lot of people in my position that would have given up. And the reason why I say that, because I know I've seen it. I've seen people give up. I've seen people give in. I've seen people lose their mind, which I have. I've already had my midlife crisis. I'm way past halftime. I may look young, but I'm not. Not as young as you would think. What's today? Today's the 20th. My birthday is in 2 days, and I will be 41. Born in 1985, born and raised in the Bronx, New York, left the Bronx, New York, uh, a little bit after 9/11. And then I moved well, technically, no, let's rewind. I left New York after ninth grade when I stepped into as a freshman in high school. I went to Delaware, lived over there for a while, went to high school there, joined the ROTC. It was amazing. I loved it. But my family member didn't love the fact that I was more interested in things that I wanted to do versus what she thought what would be proper for me. And I'm a rebel. And a rebel in a healthy way. Like, you're not telling me what to do with my life. It's my life. It's my life. It's not your life. And that's the relationship that I have with my daughter. It's like, dude, you do whatever you want. I'm going to guide you in the proper direction. I'm going to teach you what's right from wrong. That's the proper thing to do for any parent for their child. Discipline in this household comes a different way. I don't believe in punishment. I believe in rehabilitation, if that makes any sense. Now, there's some people, though, don't get me wrong, there's some people that need to be punished. There's some people that need to be put asleep. But as long as you teach your child from infancy, you know, consequences, we all make mistakes. It's tough. Being a parent is not easy, obviously, especially when you're by yourself. And I praise her mom because, like, yo, like she's doing it by herself with other children from another marriage. I've never been married, but and that's not to speak down about her mom. It's just hard. It's not easy. It really isn't. But moving forward, like life is beautiful and blessed. I thank God every day. I truly do. I have like this endless conversation with our creator. It just never ends. I'm either angry with our creator or happy. And you know what? I'm human. What do you want? Like you threw me into this world and I didn't ask to be here. And maybe I did, right? Maybe I was up there in the heavens and however you put it, and I'm like, yeah, I want to be that character. Why do you want to be that character? Because I think I could do it better. And it's just like zap, born. It's crazy. Like, and of course, you have to deal with the consequences of the genetic lottery. And what I mean by that with the genetic lottery, uh, I'm mentioning that specifically because I'm into rap battles. I love it. I love rap battling with people. Either it's freestyle or written, whatever it is. And I was listening to the game today, God bless his soul, and he was dissing Eminem with the Black Slim Shady. And the arrogance from him, like, oh, you want to be black, you want to be African American, talking to, Eminem. And it's just like, you didn't choose to be that. We're all born the way we are. That's not a choice. That's a literal genetic lottery. Some people lose, some people win. Is it a loss to be black? No. Is it a loss to be white? No. Depending on what neighborhood and area you're living in, it could be a curse. So it's it's interesting when people are so proud of their skin color and their culture or whatever. It's like you didn't choose that. You were born into that. What the fuck are you so proud of? Just be proud to be human, be alive, and let's all get along and stop the fucking racial color bullshit. Because that shit is so played out, like it needs to stop. It's sort of like, and I'm gonna get to the point here. We're gonna start playing some videos and go through current events. But you're proud again to be something that you have no control over. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And then you get mad at people for being a certain skin color. They don't have, no one has control over any of this. So again, let's get along. Let's have fun during this life. Let's figure out how we can fix these issues and prosper. Dude, we could, if we all got along, you know how better this world will be? There'll be no killings, no murders, no rapes, no any of these things that we're dealing with. And the reason why I'm talking the way I'm talking right now is because I realize I've been so brash and angry, emotional. Like I just been so emotional, and I'm now I'm in like the bottom pit of my life where I have every right to be angry and emotional. Like a lot of these people that we're about to see protesting and shit, like, dude, they're just bored with their life. They don't know what transgression is and trials and tribulations. They just see something that's happening on a television screen and they go run towards it because they want clout or whatever the fuck, whatever makes them sleep better at night. But I do want to do better. I want to come to conclusions because everything is conclusive and come up with some solutions. And I may say, "Oh, I vow to be more peaceful," but no, there's gonna be some days where I'm gonna be straight fucking human. And yeah, I'm imperfect, but I'm gonna try to do better. So let's start with the Rubin report. I haven't watched the Rubin report for quite some time. And the reason behind that is because I feel like he's like a chameleon. He plays one side or the other when it's convenient to his viewers. I personally like Dave Rubin as like what I've seen, his commentary, and it's not only what he's saying. Body language is everything. Eye contact, like everyone looks into the camera, and that makes it easier for myself to analyze someone's like you can tell, bro. You just look into someone's eyes and you could tell the eyes lie, bro. The eyes lie. And that's not to talk down on Dave Rubin, but he has taken sides on certain subjects where I'm just like, you lost me. Like I stopped watching him daily a while ago because for some reason I feel like he's a part of the establishment. And what I mean by that is the establishment of a world order that holds secrets. where you're not telling the public and you're just being completely dishonest. Is that true? I don't fucking know. That's just how I feel. And I'll tell you what, my gut feelings, bro, especially at my age, for I'm gonna be 41 on Thursday. I tend to follow it. And now that I'm actually following my feelings and talking my shit or popping my shit, I feel a lot more happier. And more happier, I feel more comfortable being in my skin nowadays, just from being completely honest. And I really don't give a fuck if people like it or not. So let's have this conversation and let's see what's going on.
You're saying to me, okay, if you're gonna, let's say, the countrywide have a 1% tax on wealth that people are gonna leave, like, come on, have some more patriotism.
So Roe holds an interesting spot because he's the congressman from Silicon Valley, right? One of the congressmen from Silicon Valley area. So he's been around all of these people who have built industries, now many of whom have fled, who are being taxed into oblivion. We just read there was a big story in New York Post last week about Peter Thiel has officially moved to Florida. I think David Sachs has moved to Florida, like big time billionaires who create things and create jobs and create industries. They're taking their businesses and their law-abiding employees and people who produce, they're taking them all out of Cali and moving to red states. Here he is downplaying the wealth tax in California.
Ultimately, the idea that having just a 1% tax a year, I mean, in a theory, on building wealth when you make about 10% every year anyway in the stock market, and that you're going to use that to make sure people have health care and child care and education.
And again, I didn't mean to interrupt him, but anyone watching this, we are experiencing the majority of what I'm showing you in real time. I have not seen this clip. I saw seconds of it and I was just like, okay, I want to hear what this guy has to say. And if I did watch it in its entirety, I would let you know. Because I don't want to play fake like, oh, like some of these YouTubers are like, oh, they're just so fucking immature and goofy. And it's just like, no, I want to be real with you guys. I'm gonna tell you if I seen something or not. I saw this part and the response that comes from the host, we're gonna experience that and get a true reaction. Because sooner or later I'm gonna be doing albums too, right? We're gonna be reacting to albums. I promise I'm not gonna listen to an album or watch a movie first and then give my analysis if I didn't tell you that first. That whole fake shit that I see these YouTubers doing, dude, is so weird, fake. Everyone wants to trend. And it's just like, dude, just be yourself. Like, why are you guys being so fucking goofy and fake? For the sake of money, I'd rather be broke under a fucking bridge, bro. Stop. I know I've said that before, but all right, let's continue.
I just think that's what's going to prevent a revolution. You know, think about the guys who went in Venezuela, right? And like they stick the landing despite being shot at. They wear the uniform. They give every single thing for this country. And you're saying to me, okay, if you're going to, let's say, the countrywide have a 1% tax on wealth that people are going to leave, like, come on, have some more patriotism. You have some loyalty to the country.
I mean, just a caveat to that. I mean, what are you going to spend the money on? Where's the money going to go?
Well, that's,
I mean, look at our cities, bro. Look at Chicago, St. Louis, San Francisco, LA, New York, tons of Minnesota right now. I mean, look at all this shit. Our cities are trashed. We have a fentanyl problem.
yeah.
I mean, and where's all the money going? It sure as isn't going into this country. You know where it's going?
And this is a veteran, by the way. He's fought for this country. I have 100,000% respect for this guy. I've seen him in action. I've seen him ask questions. I've seen him engage with people. He has every right. Anyone who went overseas and is willing to die for this country has every single fucking right to speak. And then we have people like myself that's in the country that can't join the services or the military services, however you want to put it. And we are veterans of the streets and just veterans of life, dude. Because it works in so many different ways. One hand washes the other. But if you're not being that hand or the soap, the suds, and the water, and you're just like up here trying to think you're better than everyone and you don't have to put any work in to help this nation, further itself, then you can fuck off. This dude that's on the other side is sitting back so smug. Let's continue.
It's going to Ukraine. It's going to Israel. It's going to
It's
fight
bullshit.
war in Venezuela.
Bullshit.
It's going everywhere but here. And we all see it. Everybody sees it.
We not only see it, sir. We not only see it, we feel it, we experience it. I'm experiencing it right fucking now. And that's why I decided to continue talking my shit. I'm not a trust fund baby. I'm not someone that um came from an Ivy League school or whatever. Like I didn't even have the proper education growing up. It was just impossible, literally impossible. I'm traumatized from my fucking childhood and what I had to go through. And thank God for my mother that had the backbone to do everything that she could, but she couldn't be there emotionally. And it's not her fault. I don't hold her to that. But she was there financially, and she does everything that she possibly fucking can today to help me in any way that she possibly can. And I do get help from my daughter's family on the other side of the water. They do what they can to make sure that we don't fail. And it's not, maybe not satisfactory to what I expected it to be or what I expect. But as I grow older, I start to realize that, yo, take hold of any help that you can get because shit is fucking real out here. And the reason why Americans like myself, and I'm not even trying to like cry rivers here, but you have veterans that have it way worse. You have people that are homeless that are trying to seek help, but we're sending all of our money everywhere else. And then you have people that are, quote, refugees coming into the country, taking advantage of us, and then you call them out and they get mad at us for calling it out. And now we're racist, biased, uh, we have phobias of certain cultures. It's just like, no, we have a serious problem in this country right now. And you know what's crazy is that it's not even that serious, right? Because we still all live like kings and queens. But the point is that if you don't acknowledge it right now, if you have a sprained ankle, it's in your best interest, or let's say like a hairline fracture, you might want to let it heal, take care of that ankle, tread carefully on that ankle. You don't want to go out and start playing basketball and running laps around tracks. No, you have to tread carefully. But right now we have like a fractured hairline fracture in our system, and if we don't take care of it now and make it a big deal now. Although it's a hairline fracture to your ankle, it's going to cause a lot of problems in the long term. And it will get worse and worse and worse. So this is something very important to pay attention to.
Everybody sees another billion, another more billions allotted to Ukraine, more billions allotted to
No,
Israel, more billions allotted to
no,
whatever. You know, it's just everything seems to go out.
you don't have my permission. I'm an American citizen. We the people. No.
Of the country. So why would any business owner want to pay more tax just to have it shipped out of the country?
Well, there I agree with you about the waste and the.
Look at this that just happened with the learning centers, and supposedly $9 billion has
I'm not
been,
going to defend the waste and the fraud. Two things.
been
One,
sucked out of the
Yeah, like Sean Ryan, right? That's his name. Okay, Sean Ryan is
country.
also.
And then, I mean, on top of that, I mean, Scott Bessent just said yesterday that there's approximately $600 billion in fraud in the U.S. I mean, don't you think we might want to get a handle on that before we tax everybody more?
All right, if you
Yes, and this dude, let's go back, Dave Rubin, I'm sorry. But let's go back to this guy, not Sean Ryan, the Silicon Valley fucking schmuck over here. Where's his face? What the fuck? Can we uh can we get a
Our
witness? Hold
cities are
on.
f***ing trashed.
One
We have a
second.
fentanyl problem.
Yeah.
I mean, and where's all the money going?
Yeah,
It sure as
yeah,
isn't going
yeah,
into this
yeah.
country. You know where it's going? It's going to Ukraine. It's going to Israel. It's going to fight war in Venezuela. It's going everywhere but here. And we all see it. Everybody sees it. Everybody sees another billion, another more billions allotted to Ukraine, more billions allotted to Israel, more billions allotted to whatever. You know, it's just everything seems to go out of the country. So why would any business owner want to pay more tax just to have it shipped out of the country?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there I agree.
This dude right here, that was the point I was trying to freeze right there. He needs to get punched like dead in his fucking mouth. All right, let me be nice. Please don't run up on him and punch him in his mouth. But this dude's a fucking clown show. A clown show. I don't want to hear another fucking peep from him. He looks like Patrick. The PBB, the D. That's such a stupid fucking like. It's a tongue twister. It's fucking annoying. But I love those guys. That's exactly who he looks like. And this dude right here is bad news. And we're gonna move on because like, dude, I wanna punch him through my fucking screen because they sit there and they know the problem. But what do you think? They're gonna give up power? Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. What's next?
I saw this. So Nick Shirley made a video response.
So the other week, I sat down with Andrew Callahan in Channel 5 to do a sit-down podcast-style interview. And when he goes and posts the video, I see he just posted an hour-long interview. I said, well, that's weird, because we actually spoke for around 2.5 hours.
He has the original video. This was really smart for him to record it himself. Very smart. He recorded it himself.
And then I go and watch the interview. I'm saying,
Yeah.
well, what is this? This is not what happened. For instance, this clip right here.
Here we go.
What American city is prospering right now?
Basically, any place with low state tax is getting a lot of.
In any place that's not Democrat.
I don't know about that. I mean,
Name a Democrat city that's prospering right now.
well, it would have to be one that's affordable.
Name one.
Denver.
Why are you smirking? It's not prospering. Denver's not prospering either. All right, so
that's the video that Andrew
And we're gonna keep it right there because, like, if y'all want to go look at that, I'd suggest you do. I was watching that interview, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that dude that tries to act cool, like goes to the hood and all that shit, it's another clown posse show. I don't understand. Maybe I do understand. Maybe I don't want to understand. But if you are in this industry of information, whether you're a rapper, a singer, a politician, a YouTuber, spokesman, content creator, influencer, if you are in this industry, period, I've been a part of this information industry my entire life. Yeah, I'm new to YouTube as far as like actually trying to get my name out there, but I've been a part of the YouTube community for over a decade. I have channels out there. I just never went viral. I've spoken about a million fucking things. You want to know why? I'm not viral and big like some of these people. And I'm not speaking on anyone that you see on the screen right now. I have a lot of respect for them. But there's some people out there that are willing to, when they say sell your soul to the devil, these people are so dishonest. They're willing to play stupid and act stupid for the sake of money. And this is what happens when you have a lot of money. Once you have a lot of money, you can start adding concrete and penetrable and I can't even think of the word right now. but you can add layers to your security of life where people can't come at you right away. Once you have X amount of money, you can continue your bullshit because you're protected by your money. It's a lot more simple than people think. So when you're watching these popular people, influencers or whatever, like, yo, bro, they are deliberately bullshitting you for the money. They don't care about the truth. They do not care about the truth. You have to understand how to read people. Pay attention to who you're dealing with. I have like, a lot of my suffering has turned into a lot of life learned lessons. I have suffered my entire life. And the beauty about that is that now I know how to read people. I can see right through them. I understand. Like, dude, I have dealt with so many different fucking people in my life, from celebrities to the poorest of the poorest, from being homeless to being in the top echelon. I've lost it, I've gained it. Now I'm in a position where I just don't give a fuck because I'm just trying to raise my daughter and I want to be a part of her life come hell or fucking high water. It doesn't matter. That's my responsibility to this life until she's old enough where I feel comfortable where she can do her own thing. But until that day comes, I'm going to be a part of her life. I'll sit here and pop my shit with 24 subscribers, and for the minimal amount of people who wants to listen, listen. And when she gets of age and, is able to do her own thing, then I'll go out there and start traveling, doing what I have to do. I'm not going to be stupid enough to put like Nick Shirley. I think he's a stupid person. I like him personally. I think he's very intelligent. I I know he has a high IQ. He's not a stupid person when it comes to like acuity and shit. But I think he's stupid in a way where he puts himself in a situation where, like, dude, please don't wind up getting hurt. You have to be smarter in how you move. And I say that about Nick Shirley specifically because there's other people trying to do what he's doing. And it's a stupid move, dude. You have to pick and choose your battles. You can't just go. I saw too many videos of people getting chased out of Minnesota, Minneapolis, or whatever, getting chased into garages, chased into businesses, chased into hotels. It's just like, dude, you have to pick and choose your battles because you're trying to go pet a lion and hug it for the sake of taking a picture. Dude, stop. Stop. You guys have to be smarter than this. You can't depend on the police. The police is not the police, the National Guard, and people that's supposed to protect you, that's supposed to follow the Constitution and actually protect you, they're not going to do it. That doesn't mean they have to. Just because you see a stop sign in an intersection, that doesn't mean everyone's going to stop. You might want to take precaution by driving through that intersection. That's my point. So for all the influencers out there and all the people out there that's just like trying to be ballsy and shit, look, I'm 41 years old. I'll be 41 in a day. I've lived a fucking wild life. I have not been consistent of my living situations, my shelter, my homes. I've been in the hood. I've lived in rich neighborhoods. I've lived in the fucking poorest of the poorest. I've been homeless. I'm still homeless at this moment. Yeah, I have a roof over my head, but I don't have a place to call home where I can rest. All right. I've been through some rugged shit. If you want to talk about a beaten down, fucking formed American, you're looking at it right here. There's not an American on this fucking earth or in the United States that is either equally or more hardened than I am right now. It's tough. It ain't fucking easy. So it's really hard for me to watch like the Don Lemons of the world, all these people that are, Don Lemon talks about white privilege. No, he's privileged and he's married to a white dude. This is a hardened American right here that's speaking to you. And the reason why I'm anxious, because I am kind of anxious to get the message out because I need you guys to understand, like, dude, stop putting yourself in stupid situations. Because I feel the anger sometimes. I'm like, damn, I wish I could be there to help protect you. But I think about it as well, and it's just like I would never put myself in that situation. What the fuck are you guys doing? It's like that dude Nick, I forget his last name, that got his camera stolen. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? I understand you're trying to be journalists, or you are a journalist. I understand but dude, you have to take full precaution. You getting your camera snatched, I can understand why the cops were telling you, like, why are you here? Just leave. What are you doing? If you're not smart enough to drive through this neighborhood and not get, like, you have to be smarter than that. You just have your window down and just willy-nilly, oh yeah, whatever. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're obviously not street smart. Nick Shirley is surely not fucking street smart. The dude is a fucking idiot when it comes to the streets. You have to pick and choose your battles, dude. Like, come on, man. Yeah, the American military is one of the baddest. As you notice, I didn't say the baddest, although I think they're the baddest. But for sake, they're one of the baddest in the world. But they pick and choose their battles. They're not gonna just go to China and try to fucking snatch people. Like, come on, man. I have zero sympathy for Renee Nicole Good because she put herself in a stupid situation. If Nick Shirley were to go out there and get jumped or robbed, you know what? I have zero sympathy. You want to know why? Because you put yourself in that situation. Just because you have the freedom of speech, that doesn't mean you're safe. And again, just because there's a stop sign, that doesn't mean everyone's gonna stop, bro. We have to pick and choose our battles better. So let's continue. Not with Nick Shirley or Osmond. Let's go to the next one. What the f?
This is protest. Mostly peaceful.
Oh yeah, I wanted to watch that, but not today.
You weren't king, you were president. There were only certain things you could do unilaterally. As time goes on, 1,000 deportations on average a day. People are wondering, and our Twitter feeds and Facebook feeds, that's the question everybody asks. Won't you at least consider unilaterally freezing deportations for the parents of deferred action kids?
Yeah. Here's the problem that I have, Jose, and I've said this consistently. My job in the executive branch is supposed to be to carry out the laws that are passed. Congress has said, here's the law when it comes to those who are undocumented, and they allocate a whole bunch of money for enforcement. And what I have been able to do is to make a legal argument that I think is absolutely right, which is that given the resources we have, we can't do everything that Congress has asked us to do. What we can do is then carve out the DREAM Act folks, saying young people who have basically grown up here are Americans that we should welcome. We're not going to have them operate under a cloud, under a shadow. But if we start broadening that, then essentially I would be ignoring the law in a way that I think would be very difficult to defend legally. So that's not an option. And I do get a little worried that advocates of immigration reform start losing heart and immediately thinking, well, somehow there's an out here. If Congress doesn't act, we'll just have the president sign something and that'll take care of it and we won't have to worry about it. What I've said is that there's a path to get this done, and that's through Congress. And right now, everybody should be focused on making sure that that bill that's already passed out of the Senate hits the floor of the House of Representatives. It's not as if the votes are not there. Right. The votes are there. The only thing that's preventing it is, the Speaker Boehner's decided that he doesn't want to call it right now.
I would say the only thing that's preventing it is stupid people. And this is why democracy is retarded. This is why democracy is retarded. Because if we detect a threat that you know is going to be a threat long term to the United States, but 60% of the people that are just like fucking retarded vote that no, let's say that's the problem. But, we can ignore all these things. Maybe because Obama was half black and half white, which can work in his favor in either way. Because he's saying it in a very nice way, it's okay. But because Trump comes out and says, you know what, fuck that, we're gonna do this and that, it's like the baddest like the worst president ever when he's doing exactly what Obama is doing, except that they're saying it differently. Right? Because 1 plus 1 will always equal 2. 3 plus 3 will always equal 6. But you can always change that, right? The equation is always going to come to the same. So you can say 2 plus 4 equals 6. No, but it needs to be 3 plus 3. Ow! It needs to be 1 plus 5. I hope you haven't. If you can't understand what I just said, you have no business voting. Your IQ is way too low. You need to up it. And you're born with a high IQ, just to let you know. You don't train yourself for that. Like you're born with it. So let's speaking of IQ acuity levels, what is this? The Ukrainians? Yeah, I didn't want to do that. The next one was Ukraine, but we're gonna end it right here with Don Lemonhead. God bless his soul. I just want to say a prayer for Don Lemon real quick, if you don't mind. Okay. Take my hat off. Because he said he's a Christian, so I want to pray for him. Our Father in the heavens above, I want to thank you for this day of life, day of food, day of shelter, and everything that you bless us with. I realize a lot of the things that I do is wrong. And before asking for forgiveness of my sins, I want to thank you. Because the first thing that we should do, Father, is thank you for us being alive and having what we have. And although times are hard for any one of us, I do thank you for just giving us the opportunity in another day with the sun shining on time, giving us an opportunity to make it right or either keep pushing forward. So, with that said, I want to say, Father, that I am, forgive me of my sins. I'm imperfect. I try to do everything that I can, not to be perfect, but to do the right thing. Because I know I'm going to slip up and say things like, fuck that. Forgive me. Forgive me for yelling at the sky, but Father, I think you have a full understanding of where I'm coming from. So now, with all of that said, Father, I want to pray for Don Lemon because, according to him, he's a Christian, which, as long as you're a man of God and you believe in God, Father, I do believe that. It's not that we will be saved, but we will be acknowledged. And you've seen my life. Maybe you will acknowledge me. I can't guarantee myself by believing in you that I will be saved. But have mercy on this man's soul because he doesn't know what he's talking about. And give me the strength and the energy to get through this last 60-second segment so I can explain to my audience and people who, like me or dislike me or what's going on here. I offer all these things in your son's name, Yeshua, to my God, Yahuwah. Amen. Okay, so, yeah, you see, I feel that I feel that spiritual awakening. Let's listen in. I just needed to say a prayer before I had to hear any of this.
Okay, crossing the border illegally is not a crime?
No, it's not a criminal act. It's a misdemeanor.
So why are they being sent back and saying that they're breaking the law?
That's the point.
Okay, crossing the border illegally is not a crime?
No, it's not a criminal act. It's a misdemeanor.
So why are they being sent back and saying that they're breaking the law?
That's the point.
Okay, as somebody that actually...
We don't know if they're breaking the law because they won't tell. There's no due process. Where's the evidence? That's the whole point. And if they are breaking the law, most people will say, okay, then they need to go if they're criminals. But if they're not...
I'm going to stop it right there because I don't want anyone watching this to become so irritated where they had to crash out and just end the conversation, because that's what I did at first. I had to watch this a few times to actually stomach listening to the rest. For you to say that a misdemeanor is not a criminal act, your first offense for a DUI and even your second offense for a DUI, considering all circumstances, is a misdemeanor. And yes, you can do time for it. And the majority of people do 5 to 10 days, and some idiots do the whole 12 months. Misdemeanor can be a simple assault. And if you simply assault someone, and that could be just raising your hand with the intention to hurt someone, yes, you can do time for that. And it's not a hard time, but yes, it's a criminal offense. This man is he's pushing 60, right? He's in his, like, he is. If we, because it's halftime, we don't live to 100 anymore. So I want to say he's senile. Not only is he senile, he talks so much about white people and all this shit. Meanwhile, he's married to a white man that he can never have children with. Because according to his logic, he probably think that men could get pregnant. But the point here is that this guy right here, please stay around so I can have content to go by. I'll have a lifetime of content to analyze, but at the same time, for him to try to gaslight a stranger that obviously really doesn't know what she's talking about, she does try to fire back, but dude, you're trying to tell people that a misdemeanor is not a crime? Stealing a candy bar from a store is a crime. You do that shit 3 times and it will become a felony and you will be put behind bars just for stealing a Snickers 3 times. I It's not that I don't understand. I do understand. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. None of these people will be acting the way they do, including senators, like the congressmen, judges, like, Ketanji Brown. She couldn't display what a woman is. It's all about money. That's all it is. No one's doing it for the sake of just being human. And there's a lot of evil out there, bro. If you don't believe in God and you're absent from God, you're more prone to commit evil acts, like just atrocities. And you know what's an atrocity? Dropping an atomic bomb or a nuclear bomb in a country. It may seem like an atrocity, like, oh, that's evil. You killed all these people. But you know what's worse than that? Gaslighting them and confusing an entire nation to think that things are not the way it is. That shit is more offensive. That's more harmful. And I'm not going to say, "Oh, it needs to stop." No, I know what's coming, and all their days are coming. You want to talk? Don Lemon was like, "Karma." It's like, bro, you have no idea what's coming to every single fucking person that wants to sit there and mislead people for the sake of money. If you made it this far, I appreciate anyone listening. And honestly, like, if you made it this far, you just want to hear the truth and understand what the fuck is going on. I don't have all the answers, but I'll tell you what. Lying for the sake of money, I'm not with it.